Good afternoon, everyone. Um, my name is Dan Woolley. I'm the head of international customer services for BetConstruct. And yeah, apologies. The presentation was meant to be earlier, but we had some technical problems. So we're going to do it now at 1 o'clock instead. So hope everyone's well. Um, I'll kick off and tell you a little bit about me, actually. I've worked for BetConstruct now for the last 1.5 years. And before that, I hold over 12 years senior level experience running large scale customer service centers across the globe for Vodafone. So I was working all throughout the United Kingdom, India, South Africa, and also Egypt. I moved into the online gaming sector about 4 years ago, and I was responsible for the creation of a brand new omni-channel contact center working with Ladbrokes Coral, Gala, and also Buzz Bingo. So today I'm going to talk a little bit about what we do here at in CS at BetConstruct, and then I've got 5 agenda items to talk you through, some hints and tips about what you need to consider if you're going to set up a CS department on your own. But to start with, our CS team in BetConstruct, we're award winning. We provide support at the moment to 90 different partners across the world. We cover 14 different languages, and we're also experts in a whole range of licensed jurisdictions. We've been doing this for over 10 years, and our agents are trained extensively on a whole host of player frequently asked questions, such as questions about registration. How do I log in? How do I change my personal details? How do I sign up? Questions about promotions, such as the latest bonuses and campaigns which are going out. How do I get a free bet, free spin? What are the wagering attached to that bonus? So the guys need to know all about the terms and conditions of all the latest bonuses. They need to as well have extensive knowledge about the products. So they need to know all about our sportsbook portfolio, all the games that we offer. Same with casino, same with live casino, and also esports. Especially for answering questions like questions about odds calculation and calculation times, etc., etc. Payment systems is another very, very important piece of training for the guys, because there's nothing more frustrating for a player who can't deposit and play, and also probably even more frustrating, a player who can't withdraw their winnings. So they need to be experts at providing support in payment methods. We supply tone of voice training to make sure that we're covering all our partners' brand values. We want our agents to be warm and friendly and make sure they don't sound like robots. And we also partner as well with the SMP Compliance Academy, who are an internationally recognised training partner for the gambling sector, and they keep the team up to date with all the latest regulatory changes. So all of our agents are accredited with certificates on GDPR, anti-money laundering, licensed codes of practice, and especially how to support responsible gambling. So that's a little bit of an overview in terms of what we do at BetConstruct. I'm now going to take you through the slide deck. So, hi, can we move on to the agenda slide, please? So what I'm going to cover today is I've got 5 points. I'm going to talk about the difference that good customer support can make to iGaming business, but any business, in terms of revenue, customer retention, acquisition, and brand image. I'll talk about the main barriers that people can normally come up against when trying to set up their own customer service department. I've done this a number of times, and I've learned from my mistakes. I'm going to talk about player categorisation, such as VIPs, and how BetConstruct offer this tailored approach. I'm going to talk about innovation and technology and how that comes into play in the customer service department. And last but not least, I'm going to talk about how we measure success. So moving on to the making a difference slide, if that's okay. So I'm not just saying this because I'm head of customer service, but one of the most important departments for any business, especially in the iGaming business, is their customer support. We're the bridge between the business and the player for any problems and questions. First impressions, they last, and the team have to be a pure reflection of the company's brand and its values. So, for example, any good CS team should adopt these basic principles. They need to be easy to get through to. They need to be warm and friendly. They need to be well trained on all those products and licenses, which I talked about before. I talked about products, licenses. We are experts at UKGC, at MGA, at FR. Let's say we are experts in the majority of gaming licenses worldwide. They need to as well, though, have the access to the correct systems and information. So there's no point about a player being able to get through to you quickly if your agents can't provide them with the correct information quickly. So they need to have the correct systems. They need to be able to take ownership. And we need to also act quickly and never break a promise. I think you can probably all think about experiences where you've been let down by other CS teams in the past where they promised you a callback or an email, and that's never been received. Any team not able to deliver consistently on any of these points risk a serious impact on the satisfaction of their players. Competition in the iGaming sector is fierce, and poor service can directly lead to a player choosing to play elsewhere, affecting their overall lifetime value. Players are also far more likely to talk about a bad experience, creating negative reviews on the countless customer forums, influencing future player acquisition and damaging the business reputation overall. You need to get the basics right. Next slide, please, Ike. Now, any good team, to be successful, needs to have a good plan, needs to have a solid strategy and an identity. But you also need to understand what their competition is doing if they want to stand out from the crowd. So on this slide, I've got an example of a CS strategy. And again, you can all read, but from left to right, you want to be making sure that customers can contact you quickly through the channel of their choice, ideally on a 24/7 basis. You want to be making sure that your executives have the correct tools in place to be answer a customer's query in the fastest possible time. You want to be making sure that the majority of your customer contacts are answered within a very, very short time period. And you want to combine that with industry-leading customer satisfaction results. Ideally, you'll have your agents multi-skilled so they can handle a number of different channels. What that will do is that will make sure that your resource is maximized, especially if you have to be reactive to a spike in customer demand. So, for example, there's no point having all of your team experts in email when you've got a gap on live chat and you suddenly get a spike and you can't move people over very quickly. You need to make sure, ideally, again, that your agents are multi-skilled. You should always be looking to the future in terms of new technology, new opportunities to provide a customer with the best options in terms of being able to self-serve. Not everybody wants to get through to an agent if that information can be quickly and readily available for them to access themselves. And all this leads to making sure that your number one goal is making sure that customer satisfaction is your number one priority. And to do that, you need to be making sure that your employees are engaged. If you've got a workforce which is engaged, which is energized, you've got far more chance to deliver fantastic customer satisfaction. Next slide, please, Heike. So this slide is just a bit of an example in terms of what the CS team should do, what it should offer. So a bit of a basic list on how to set up a high-performing CS team. What should it look like? So you've got your core channels, you've got your calls, you've got your emails, you've got your live chat, which in today's age is one of the most important channels to make sure that you are supporting. You've got VIP customer support. The best teams as well also offer support via social media. They offer outbound calls for reactivation and conversions. They're making sure that the CS team is closely aligned to core teams such as CRM, so they've got the heads up for any promotion before it goes live. All of this is underpinned as well by compliance, and every single conversation needs to be making sure that it is it's got compliance at the heart of it. That we are making sure that the guidelines are being followed, especially from a responsible gambling perspective. If it comes to having an interaction with a player who is saying they can't afford to pay their rent, they are struggling financially because of their gameplay. We need to be making sure we are looking after these players and treating them accordingly. And all of these great channels and all these great tasks that a customer service team performs, we need to be making sure that we are carrying out analysis and insights. And I'm going to talk about that more on the next slide. So yeah, move on to the next slide, please. So what are the main barriers operators usually come up against when trying to set up their own customer support teams and systems? Setting up a CS team in our industry, well, in any industry, can be challenging. To begin with, one of the most important parts is to recruit the right people. And those people need to have an absolute passion for looking after players' needs, combined with the right skills to succeed. So an agent needs to become not just an industry expert, but also have the patience and personality to deal with a variety of challenging scenarios, not least that one I just mentioned in terms of supporting players with gambling problems. So when you have the best people, you need to hang on to them. And you need to make sure they're being looked after and empowered to make decisions and recognised for a job well done. And barriers and problems can present very, very quickly if these areas are not focused on or budgeted in the right way for. So, for example, buildings and facilities. If you've got the right people, you need to provide a great environment with the right equipment for people to operate. In an ideal world, you'd have CS situated closely to the core teams they interact with the most on a daily basis, such as the risk teams, the verification teams, trading, calculation teams, and CRM. Recruitment, as I mentioned before, not only do you need to find the right people, you need to find the right amount of people to support your players, ideally on a 24/7 basis. There's no point having a team of 2 great people when you're trying to provide support 24/7, because those people are not going to be able to be there all the time to match your customers' demand. So again, it's not just about the right people; it's also about the forecasting, looking at your plans for your numbers of daily active players to make sure you're providing support on a 24/7 basis. Every hour, you need the right amount of people in. Systems. So this is really, really important in this day and age. So you need to have the best CRM system to communicate to your players quickly and efficiently. Well, that system now needs to be flexible to allow remote working, especially in these times during the pandemic. In BetConstruct, we've had 4 months this year where 90% of our teams have worked remotely. And because of the systems and the processes we've got in place, we've made sure during that time we've had no impact on the KPIs and performance that we offer. So again, getting the right systems is very, very, very important. Those systems need to have a very, very good degree of flexibility. Next one's training. So I'm not just talking now about the training an agent has to begin with. That training needs to be ongoing. And especially, you know how fast our industry works with all the new products, licenses, and responsible gambling regulations, which keep coming up. Ideally, developing a simple to use and up to date knowledge base can be a great help for customer service in terms of training. It's almost a full-time job, keeping that knowledge base up to date. But it's even with the best CS agents, nobody is going to be an expert in absolutely everything. But what is important is that the agents know where to go and access that information. And that's where knowledge base can be a great sort of support. Next one is management and support structure. So if you've got the right people in place, the right systems, the right building, you need to have the right management structure to make sure these guys are supported. You want to be making sure that the right training, the right one-to-ones are taking place to make sure that your people are motivated and people are working at the right time so players can get through easily via the channel of their choice. So again, there needs to be the right management structure and also the right quality structure from a training perspective and also from a QA. You want to be making sure that everybody is doing their job in the right way and also that is being consistently monitored. Key performance indicators, KPIs. The team need to understand what good looks like and what targets they're measured against. So, for example, what is their target for chat answer time? What's their target for customer satisfaction? What's their target for their customer resolution rate? All of these need to be clear and set out so everybody, when they're coming in the morning, know what they need to achieve and what they're working towards. And last but not least on this slide is reporting and analytics. Any successful company listens to what their customers are saying. It's very, very important. And regular feedback needs to be taking place back to the business on what customers are saying, and that's essential so problems can be identified and quickly fixed. Customer feedback is so important for continuous improvement, and any successful business makes sure they're listening to what their customers are saying. Next slide, please, Mike. Now, there are a number of different types of players operators may like to categorize in terms like VIP, casual players, and etc. And our CS team, we take the high standard approach to treat all players like a VIP. We do have the back office systems in place that allows our CS team to quickly identify the categorization of a player, whether that be VIP, bonus hunter, arbitrage player, etc., etc. We also offer packages for extra tailored support for partners, customers who are deemed to be more valuable. And this can include things like regular health checks, satisfaction and feedback surveys, retention, and also acquisition campaigns. And next slide, please, Heike. At BetConstruct, we're proud in terms of our innovation, and we love cutting edge. We use the latest call center technology that allows you to house all of your customer support channels under one roof. So, for example, our systems, they're not separate. The same system will manage mail, chat, calls, Facebook interactions, Slack interactions, Twitter, Viber contacts, etc., etc. So our software integrates with multiple communication channels and offers nearly 200 features to allow players to get hold of a team quickly and easily whenever they want. We have unified reporting dashboards which provide a complete overview, real time of what players are saying, and we combine that with a constant review of our answer times, our agent ratings, our agent availability, and our customer satisfaction ratings. And we can look at customer satisfaction down to a whole variety of different categories and see easily, for example, if customer satisfaction is taking a hit, what's that down to? Is that down to a new promotion that's gone live? Or is that down to a technical bug that needs fixing ASAP? All our data is protected as well by top-level data privacy and security, which is GDPR compliant, HTTPS encrypted, and successfully passed the Google API verification audit. And last slide, please, Heike. And guys, last but not least, how do we measure success of our customer support services within BetConstruct? So we use industry-leading best practice performance measures to track in real time, like I've said before, our answer times, our resolution rates, and our levels of customer satisfaction. We we also make sure that our employee engagement levels are also regularly monitored every 3 months to make sure that our staff are happy, and we have an open door policy in terms of any problems or concerns, and we want to hear about them straight away. As I said before, a happy workforce, an engaged workforce is the best way that you can deliver good customer satisfaction. If you've got a employee, an agent who is dissatisfied, who's unhappy, very, very difficult for them to be in the mindset to be warm and friendly and empathetic and patient with one of our customers. Our most important measure of success, though, comes from the feedback of our partners. And we pride ourselves on providing a service which is based on trust, transparency, and flexibility, along with a consistent service quality, which together with the great value that we deliver, allows us to establish strong relationships with our partners which last. And Heike, that's the last slide, and I'm going to move on to any questions. And thanks ever so much for listening. I'll open out to the floor to see if there's any questions that I can answer. Thank you.